Let's make the Father's Day we just celebrated the last one that takes place in a culture where dads have become such punching bags. Literally the last demographic group that TV, ads, and movies can still depict as clueless, useless dipshits. Basically just another child that mom has to look after. Every sitcom is, tonight on ABC, Larry burns down the house. And the tagline in the commercial for every household product is basically, because your husband is a moron.
Moving in together. It's a big step. A test. A test that Jeff failed miserably.
Even Bill Maher, the guy who's roasted every politician alive, just said something no one expected. He defended men. Yeah. The same comedian who's made a career mocking both sides suddenly turned the spotlight on Hollywood and said out loud what a lot of people have been thinking quietly. He looked straight at the camera and basically said, "Being a man today feels like a crime." And honestly, he's not wrong. Because if even Bill Maher, a lifelong liberal, is calling out the anti-man trend, maybe the culture war has finally jumped the shark.
The Democrats are always asking, how do we win back men? Just be real. Not a monster and not a doormat. Is that so hard? And as far as the last 10,000 years thing, well, who invented the wheel and figured out fire? I don't know. No one knows. Totally could have been a woman. And women throughout history undoubtedly would have contributed more if men had taken them more seriously, like those African-American math whizzes at NASA who helped put a man on the moon. Can't the pendulum ever land in the middle in this country? Can't we have something in between a complete who dares not open his mouth for fear of mansplaining and owning a tiger?
Maher's rant wasn't just another joke, it was a cultural diagnosis. He pointed out how for years, TV and movies have treated dads like walking punchlines, clueless goofballs who can't fold laundry, boil eggs, or exist without embarrassing themselves. Think about it. The idiot dad trope is everywhere. Commercials where a guy floods the house trying to do laundry. Sitcoms where every episode ends with the wife rolling her eyes because her husband set something on fire. At first it was funny, then it became normal. And Maher called it what it really is, conditioning. It teaches audiences, especially kids, that men are basically overgrown children being babysat by smarter, more capable women.
But all these shows, they can't all be lying about what it's like to have kids.
Your EQ is off the charts, Nick.
Aha, Nick. I'm Nick now. What happened to Dad?
Well, I don't know, Nick. What happened to Dad?
Hey, come in here.
Why are you acting so I mean, it is only $10.
Charlie, do you hear how they talk to me? Do you hear how you gotta say something?
Whoa, hold on. When are you guys planning on coming home?
By 11 or 12?
Yeah, soon.
You know you both have school tomorrow.
That's true. We do. Yeah, he's right.
Solid parenting, Dad.
But beneath the joke was a point. This isn't equality, it's humiliation. And what used to be comedy has quietly turned into propaganda with a laugh track. Maher says this endless ridicule does something deeper than people realize. It shapes how young audiences view masculinity. When every TV dad is useless, every husband is a buffoon, and every male role model is treated like a clown, what message do boys absorb? That masculinity equals stupidity. That being a man is something to outgrow. That fathers deserve pity, not respect. And once that idea sinks in, it doesn't just weaken men. It warps how society views strength, leadership, and even responsibility. Maher's frustration wasn't about men wanting praise. It was about men wanting fairness.
And here's Will Ferrell's quick human history recap.
Men, we've been running the show since what, 10,000 BC? Something like that? And we're not doing so good. Isn't it just time for women to run the planet?
Yes, a sentiment Leonard Cohen concurs with, saying, I wish the women would hurry up and take over. Well, you know what? Many of them have. And it wasn't that different. Queen Mary burned 300 people at the stake just for being Protestant. Cleopatra, Catherine the Great, Golda Meir, Indira Gandhi, none of them were any less violent or than men. Hillary voted for the Iraq War. Marie Antoinette let them eat cake.
He wasn't saying men are perfect. He said exactly the opposite. The last 10,000 years weren't sunshine and harmony. But somewhere between men are oppressors and men are useless, the pendulum swung way too far. And that swing has consequences. Today's young men are more confused than ever about what being a man even means. They're told to be strong, but not too strong. Be confident, but not too assertive. Be protective, but careful not to sound patriarchal. So what happens? They look for direction online and find extremes. On one end, you've got fake male feminists who apologize for existing. On the other, you've got loud online influencers selling a cartoon version of manhood, all ego and domination.
Let's not pretend, my fellow humans with the who are so down on yourselves, that your convenient, pleasant, cushy lives would be anything close to that without a few little things that men did contribute, like electricity, and batteries, and movies, microphones, the plow, the compass, the clock, the alarm clock, the printing press, the internet, the toilet, the telescope, penicillin, planes, the Magna Carta, the telephone, the smartphone, rockets, the theory of universal gravitation, refrigeration, air conditioning, the theory of evolution, the computer, AI. Oh, sorry about that one.
Mark called it out perfectly. He said teenage boys are flocking to those loud voices because society hasn't given them better options. When every movie, ad, and show says men are weak, clueless, or oppressive, of course young guys will gravitate toward anyone who even pretends to defend masculinity. It's not because they love bad role models, it's because they're starving for real ones. But Maher didn't stop there. He said the problem isn't just how we talk about men, it's how we've started talking to women. He mocked the new Hollywood ritual of performative flattery, where every celebrity on a red carpet suddenly declares, "Women are smarter than men. Women are better leaders." Ryan Gosling says it. Harry Styles wears it on a t-shirt. Even Barack Obama once joked that women are indisputably better. Maher's take, admiration turned into theater. It's not equality, it's pandering. Because when praise becomes flattery, it stops being respect. He even joked, "I don't remember Michelle taking out bin Laden." Brutal. But his point was clear. Good leadership doesn't have a gender. Wisdom, integrity, and courage do. Maher then hit everyone with a little history reality check. Both men and women have done incredible things. And terrible things. Men gave us electricity, airplanes, and the internet. But also war and pollution. Women gave us compassion, creativity, and leadership. But some of the most powerful female rulers in history, Queen Mary, Cleopatra, Indira Gandhi, were just as ruthless as their male counterparts. Power doesn't purify anyone. It reveals who they already are. That's why Maher said this constant, if women ran the world, it'd be peaceful. Narrative is a fantasy, not because women can't lead, but because human nature doesn't care about chromosomes. Equality isn't pretending one gender would magically fix everything. It's realizing both sides bring something vital to the table. At this point, Maher wasn't roasting anyone. He was pleading for common sense. He said the real loss here isn't male pride, it's mutual respect. For decades, culture mocked men. Then everyone acted shocked when young guys tuned out. That's not oppression, it's exhaustion. He even joked about the everyday heroes no one sees. When your power goes out and comes back 20 minutes later, that's because a man in a raincoat climbed a pole in lightning. It's his way of saying, men still build, fix, fight, and sacrifice. They've died in wars, labored in mines, invented technology, created democracy, and yes, built the very comfort people now take for granted. That doesn't make men better than women. It just means their contributions matter too. And forgetting that isn't progress. It's cultural amnesia. Here's the part that surprised a lot of viewers. Maher didn't ignore women's contributions. He celebrated them. He reminded people that women like the African-American mathematicians at NASA helped send men to the moon, proof that brilliance has never been limited by gender. His point wasn't men first, it was respect both. The real issue, he said, isn't celebrating women. It's pretending that uplifting one side requires degrading the other. That mindset turns equality into a tug of war instead of a partnership. Maher's version of progress? Balance. Men strong without arrogance. Women empowered without competition. And humor that doesn't rely on humiliating someone. So when Maher ended his segment by saying, "If you want to know what to get Dad for Father's Day, how about a little respect?" That wasn't a punchline. It was a wake-up call. Because the truth is, masculinity isn't dead. It's just been bullied into silence. And the longer we treat manhood like a flaw, the more we lose real strength, real balance, and real partnership. Respect, not worship, not apology, just respect. That's what keeps societies stable and families grounded. So maybe it's time we let the pendulum finally settle in the middle. A place where men can be men without shame, and women can be women without having to prove anything. Where admiration isn't pandering, and humor doesn't come at someone's dignity. Maher closed with one last reminder, a lightning-fast list of the things men helped create. Electricity, the clock, the compass, airplanes, the internet, penicillin, refrigeration, even the AI running this video. Then he laughed and said, "Sorry about that one." Point made. So if you're tired of seeing Hollywood treat fathers like punchlines and men like background noise, hit that like button. Because the more people talk about this, the faster that narrative starts to change. Let's make respect cool again. Because whether you're a man, a woman, or anywhere in between, we've always needed each other. Always have, always will. Drop a comment below. Do you think Hollywood's gone too far with the idiot dad stereotype? Or is Maher overreacting? Either way, this conversation is just getting started. Subscribe for more stories like this one. And remember, balance isn't boring. It's what keeps the world sane.